Imagine a family living in a village. Every month, the family earns 50,000, but it spends 70,000 on food, fuel, gadgets, clothes, and other necessities. Now there is a problem. The family is spending 20,000 more than it earns. How does it survive? By borrowing money, selling assets, or asking relatives for help. For a few months, that's manageable. But if it continues for years, trouble begins. Now replace the family with a country. Welcome to the story of current account deficit. Every country earns foreign exchange by exporting goods and services. India, for example, exports software services, pharmaceuticals, textiles, and engineering goods. At the same time, India spends foreign exchange on imports like crude oil, electronics, machinery, and gold. Think of exports as money flowing into India's wallet. Think of imports as money flowing out. Now imagine a year when India imports far more than its exports. More dollars leave the country than enter it. This gap is called the current account deficit. In simple terms, current account deficit occurs when a country's total imports of goods, services, and transfers exceed its total exports. At first glance, this sounds scary. But here is the twist. A moderate current account deficit is not always bad. Imagine a young entrepreneur taking a loan to build a factory. The borrowing today can create wealth tomorrow. Similarly, a developing country may import machines, technology, and energy to accelerate economic growth. In such cases, a reasonable current account deficit can actually signal economic expansion. But problems begin when the deficit becomes too large. Let's return to our family. If expenses keep rising while income stagnates, borrowing also rises. Soon creditors become nervous. The same thing happens to countries. A high current account deficit means the nation must attract foreign investment or external borrowing to finance the gap. If investors lose confidence, foreign money may leave suddenly. And then the dominoes start falling. The currency weakens, the rupee depreciates, imports become more expensive, fuel prices rise, inflation increases. Foreign debt becomes harder to repay, economic stability comes under pressure. That is why economists closely monitor current account deficit. For India, crude oil plays a major role. Whenever global oil prices rise sharply, India's import bill jumps, often widening the current account deficit. Policymakers then focus on boosting exports, attracting foreign investment, encouraging domestic manufacturing, and reducing unnecessary imports. Think of current account deficit as the health report of a country's external sector. A small deficit may be manageable. A persistent and large deficit can become a warning signal. And that is the central lesson. Just as a family cannot endlessly spend more than it earns, a nation cannot indefinitely pay the world more than it receives. Because sooner or later the bill arrives.